It's 6 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and start the Atwater City Council meeting for January 12th. We're going to have an invocation by Pastor Miller. And after that, Council Member Rochester is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So please stand.
All right, thank you. Let's go ahead and bow our heads in prayer, if you would. Father, thank you for your goodness to us. Thank you for giving us a new year and a fresh start. Father, we do just pray that you bless all that is said and done here tonight, but we also pray for this year that you'd give wisdom and direction in our lives, in our city. Father, we do just pray for all the things that are being planned out through the course of these next several months, and Father, for the activities that will be made available for our residents, Lord, that you'd use them once again to just nurture our community and make us stronger and make us more unified. Father, we pray, as always, for your protection upon those who are serving us this evening. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have the roll call, please?
Ambrose,
Here.
Kale,
Here.
Raymond,
Here.
Rochester,
Here.
Nelson.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Do we have any subsequent need items?
Mayor, there are no subsequent need items.
Okay. So on the approval of the agenda as posted or as amended, I am proposing that we move item 13 to right after the presentations and otherwise approve the agenda as posted. My thought being that if the council agrees to move general public comment to immediately before the consent calendar, then this would give us the chance to start doing this tonight. Would any council member like to discuss this item?
Motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Okay. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. Anybody else? No? Okay.
Raymond,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Rochester,
Yes.
Kale,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, tonight we have two presentations. We're going to start with the most important one first. I'm going to read a little bit here, and then I'm going to invite the people up, and we'll give them a little recognition here. So tonight, thanks to our friend Ernie Ochoa, I'd call him realtor extraordinaire, but I think we have other realtors in the audience here. So, anyway, we have Ernie had met these two young men at the gym, and he was very impressed with what they were doing. And we have Anthony Nance, 15, and his brother Caden Nance, 13. They have over 60 fights individually and are nationally ranked champions who proudly represent the city of Atwater while competing at national and international levels. In a sport where only the top 10 athletes in each age and weight division earn national rankings, Anthony currently holds the number 2 ranking in the nation, and Caden is ranked number 3 in the nation. And they can explain that a little bit to you when I give them the microphone. Coming from a small city, they remain deeply committed to giving back to the community that raised them and aspire to represent Atwater and Merced County at the highest levels of competition. And with that said, why don't you boys come on up here, and I'll come down and give a certificate. The mom should be recognized too, right? Of course. Okay. So, gentlemen, would you please let you have the microphone, and then you kind of tell people what it is, why you got these, what kind of fighting you do, and whatnot. Because we have a semi-pro. Are you semi-pro right there?
Okay, this belt right here, I got this from a tournament in Sugarbird. It takes a lot of hard work. And these medals right here, I got this at an international tournament against all the countries of the world. And then all of these from nationals. USA Boxing. Yes. For nationals.
This belt right here, I got this one from Sugarbird, and this one was a tournament. This one is silver gloves. This medal right here. And this one, I won gold at Tulsa, Oklahoma. Golden gloves.
So it's nice to know that there's these young men are homeschooled, so they aren't part of the regular recognition period that you would get if you were going to the school district. I did see him at the gym this morning. I started going.
Louisiana. We just got back from Texas, and Caden, he won first place, and that was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He did very good. He went up against Hawaii, and that was a very tough fight, and he made it look easy. And they work numerous amount of hours, so they work out 6 days a week, and it's about 5 hours a day. They run a lot of miles, a lot of sprinting. I do their strength and conditioning. My husband is their coach, and they just work so hard for this, and with the potential of being professional, and that's the future goal for them, is to become professional, and they want to give back to the community of where they came from, and they're representing this small city that nobody even hears of, and it's just really unique for them to represent Atwater and put Atwater on the map, so everybody knows what Atwater is because of these two champions that work so hard to represent. And I thank you guys all for being here and for this opportunity.
Thank you. I'll let Ernie say a few words while I hand out these certificates.
Thank you, Mayor Nelson. I wanted to come up here and express my deep gratitude to these kids because, like the mayor said, I also met them at In Shape Fitness Center here in Atwater, and I was so impressed with their work ethic and also their character and the amount of respect that they had for myself as an adult and all the other adults there in the gym. And then I got to know them a little bit better and all the exciting things that they're doing. And it's always really nice when you hear of someone like them here in a small community like ours here in Atwater who get recognized at the national level. So it was one of those feel-good stories to me. And then I, of course, got to know Mom a little bit better as well, and how much time she puts into their boxing. And I really expect, a lot of big things from your two boys. And I think they've already done it, but I think more so they're gonna put Atwater on the map in a good way. So congratulations to you as well for doing such a great job as a mom. And I extend that also to your husband, their father. And thank you so much, Mayor Nelson, for giving us this opportunity to recognize some members of our community that are well-deserved.
Okay, we're not taking a recess. We're taking a brief break so they can get photos with their family and whatnot. Okay, so now we have Mid-Valley Disposal is going to present their annual report and the 2025 Community Partnership Award to the City of Atwater. So you're welcome to come up there.
Good evening. Thanks, Mayor and Council, for having me here tonight. My name is Billy Hansen. I'm the Recycling Programs Manager with Mid-Valley Disposal. I actually do not have your full annual report tonight. Tonight's just the Community Partnership Award. I'll reschedule for the full annual update in a little bit. So this award was previously presented at the Mid-Valley Disposal's annual luncheon at Harris Ranch in December. But we wanted to return and formally present this recognition here tonight in front of City Council. The Community Partnership Award is given to cities that go beyond basic service expectations and actively work in partnership with Mid-Valley Disposal to support a cleaner, more sustainable community through waste reduction, recycling education, and compliance with state mandates. The City of Atwater truly exemplifies this partnership through its ongoing collaboration with us. So for me, it was an easy choice to make. We feel that we work together to support community efforts, outreach, and education to help residents and businesses reduce waste and meet the state recycling requirements. And we also want to recognize the Public Works Director, Justin. He is consistently responsive to work with and easy to work with. He regularly takes our recommendations and actively participates to ensure SB 1383 compliance, from procurement to helping with the annual cleanups to all the record keeping that needs to be done for SB 1383. It's a big task, and he's taken all of it on with stride. His leadership and willingness to partner with us does make a meaningful difference. And so on behalf of everybody at Mid-Valley Disposal, we wanted to thank you, the City of Atwater, for your continued collaboration to your community, collaboration with us, and commitment to your community. We are proud to be your partner, and we want to congratulate you on this achievement. So thank you.
Well, I was honored to receive that award back last month from you, but I'd like to have Justin come up here because really he's the one that makes it all happen. No, I know he doesn't want to come over here, but
So I was honored to attend with the mayor as well. And the cool thing was there were only a few awards that were handed out. And of the awards that were handed out, Director Vinson was the only one that was mentioned by name. So thank you, Justin.
Thanks. Here's your award. Put that in your office or put it out there someplace.
Photos with my
Oh, of course, of course. Okay, so now we're going to item 13. If I can find it here. Okay, discussion and possible action regarding moving the general plan comment period to prior to the consent calendar versus being at the end of the meeting as it currently stands. Any council discussion? Kalisa?
Yes, Mayor, I made the request for us to place this on the agenda at the request of a resident in my district, Andy Krodick. And Mr. Krodick raised some really valid points in his email about how these lengthy council meetings sometimes prohibit individuals from attending and providing comment. And so I see the value in that. And in addition to that, he also commented about elderly individuals who may not attend because, you know, these council meetings run into the hours of darkness and also just during the late hours. And so I saw a lot of valid points that he made, and so that is the reason why I requested for us to place this on the agenda to have discussion.
John?
Yeah, I remember when we chose to take it off and put it towards the end. And being in this chair when it was at the beginning of a meeting and having it at the end of the meeting, when I thought about this, I remember when it was at the beginning of the meeting, at times I get really angry because of the statements that somebody made that may not have been truthful or they were one-sided, and it kind of ruined me for the rest of the meeting. And I went, I think I like it better when it's at the meeting. I feel for those who have to stay longer when it's towards the end. But I feel that if you have a strong feeling about something, then you should write and then express it towards the end. And I really do like it towards the end and not at the beginning of the meeting.
This is an item a lot like closed session. It's usually at the discretion of the mayor and the city manager, the people that set the meetings. So, I mean, I don't really care either way. You know, if we want to have it early, that's fine. If we want to have it late, that's fine. I do see benefits to both, but either way, usually it's at the discretion of the mayor and the city manager, and if we don't like it, we can also change it, you know, as the agenda is, before we approve the agenda. So we can do it going forward. It doesn't matter to me, but this is usually just a housekeeping issue that's been taken care of like that in the past.
I concur with Councilmember Raymond. When we made the change a few years ago, it worked. It worked out. We had a larger audience that, you know, stayed and listened to all of city business. But if this is what the residents are asking, because of course, at least for me, there was more than just one email. I did talk to other individuals, and yeah, this is something that they would like in the beginning of the meeting as well. So I'll be comfortable with that.
Okay, and from my point, yeah, it's fine at the beginning. It doesn't bother me. It was this way when I came in, to have it at the end, and the previous administration set it up that way, and it seemed to work out okay. But I've been other meetings, it's at the beginning, so it doesn't matter to me. So,
can we hear if anybody in the audience what they feel like?
we'll get to that public comment portion. Yeah. Okay. So, is there anybody in the public that would like to speak to this item? Seeing nobody come forward. Okay. So, I guess we're ready to vote. A motion and a second. Don't we? Do we have a motion and a second?
So I'd like to make a motion that we move the public comment to the beginning of our council meetings rather than having it at the end.
And I think the discussion you brought earlier was starting with tonight. So do you want to add that to your motion, or do you want to start that at the next meeting?
I would say this evening, we
Okay.
just we start it now, since it was already moved to the beginning.
I'll second that.
Can I have a point of clarification?
Sure.
The beginning of the meeting, meaning right before the consent calendar, right?
Yes.
After the presentations? Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Motion by Rochester, second by Raymond. Rochester,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Raymond,
Yes.
Kale,
No.
Nelson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, so with that, I'm going to read, you are going to read the public comment language.
At this time, any person may comment on any item which is not on the agenda. You may state your name and address for the record, however, it is not required. Action will not be taken on an item that is not on the agenda. If it requires action, it will be referred to staff and or placed on a future agenda. Please limit comments to a maximum of 3 minutes.
And under the Brown Act, members of the public must address the council as a legislative body of the city, not to other members of the public or staff. I'm now going to open public comment, and just to clarify, this is for items that are not on the agenda. Those items will have an opportunity to speak on those later. Okay, open public comment, speaker cards.
We do not have any speaker cards.
Good, okay. Any members of the public that would like to speak? Now's your opportunity. Mr. Reed.
Good evening. Adam Reed, 1520 Fruitland Avenue. I would just wanted to, I see the police chief isn't here, so maybe he can, well, I know he can't respond during the meeting, but I was going to ask him to contact me anyways. I would like to see if he can contact me about a situation we had at the ice skating rink. We had a battery charger that was stolen from the ice skating rink on the morning of, early in the morning on the 19th. And we filed a police report. We had really good video of it. The gentleman looked up at the camera about 4 feet away from the camera. Really clear, like, identifiable features. And the police came and took a report and stuff, and I asked him, I said, could you please get this charger back for us, because it's a very unique, it's not a standard 12-volt charger, it's a very unique charger for a very unique piece of equipment. And I said, please, like, I mean, you guys know who the homeless people are, could you, like, just go talk to him, please ask him to bring it back. So, and he said he would and stuff. My real concern is that on the evening of December 21st, after I was, or whenever I was doing the ice maintenance, I noticed the gentleman walking down the alley, and after I got done, I went and I found him because I saw where he was going, and he went to the parking lot behind the old Pasadores on 3rd and Atwater Boulevard, and he sat there. And I contacted the police department, and I asked them if they could send somebody that he would, you know, I see him, he's right here, I'm looking at him. I sat there for half an hour, and nobody responded. They could have been doing something else. And so that's where I really want to find out before I, you know, like, I guess the word would be making any accusations. I would like to get some details. So if the police chief could reach out to me or somebody, I would like to know what was going on the evening of the 21st whenever I called in. Because I sat there for half an hour because he sat there fiddling with stuff in the parking lot, stripping a vacuum cleaner or something. So I would like to find out what the police department, you know, what the situation was, why there was no response, and then there was no follow-up phone call or anything to me. So, thank you.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? Happy New Year.
Linda Dash, Atwater. I too am here to talk about your folks that are without housing in your fair city that seem to like to camp in our parks and start bonfires. I have pictures here if you would be interested. About a week ago, I sent a little letter to the city manager, the mayor, and the police chief, who must be ill tonight, and didn't receive anything back. So I just sent it out to everybody. There's, you know, this park is meant for families, for all of us to enjoy. and it's not for people to camp. You do have an ordinance against that. And there's been a couple that's been there for probably about a month. I haven't seen them there in the last couple days, but we do have a state law now, and there was a law sent down by your governor stating that he wanted all these homeless people run out of the encampments, run out of the parks, and to call agencies like what I work for. Maybe we might be able to help. I never get a call. My coworkers, my other agencies, are never called. So I think probably your PD is a little bit too busy. Maybe you better start hiring some more officers. It's really making it tough on your merchants. They have to clean up feces in front of their doorways. They have fires, little bonfires, so the folks without housing can stay warm and maybe cook. But it does pose a risk, you know, to our public health and safety. And I don't think you'd want that in your yard. I'm trying to be real nice about this. I have a long, long letter that it wouldn't really make it in your 3 minutes, but there's a Penal Code 602, 647E, Penal Code 374 for littering, Penal Code 370 for creating a public nuisance. And it's at the point, and then this couple had 4 poor little dogs tied up to the park bench, and this was during the rains too. So I don't know, maybe you could have a chat with those folks that are in charge. And please, I know Daniel Garcia is awesome, but he has, and I think we discussed this a few months ago about getting him some help. You're going to hire 2 people, I think. Help him out. Did that happen? So I know you can't answer that question. But you know what? If a potential business owner came in this town and saw the crap that we have to see every day, they just turn around and go back. That's why Merced's thriving, Turlock's thriving, Livingston even. And there's Atwater. Do nothing, Atwater. Thank you.
All right, anybody else?
Good evening, Council, Mayor Sean Connor, 1301 Drakeley. Just to echo what Mrs. Dash said, like, it's not just her who feels this way, it's the entire community, right? We can get on the different Facebook pages where the moms and stuff talk and stuff in our community, right? And moms do not feel safe bringing their children to our parks, right? They're dirty. The other day I was at the park with my 3 children, and one of my boys said, "Hey, Dad, what's this?" And then I picked up a glass meth crack pipe or whatever they're called, right? So it's an ongoing issue, and I personally have called probably no less than 5 or 6 times. Don't quote me on the exact number. And every time I ask for someone from the police department to contact me afterwards, I've never been contacted after the fact. I've sent pictures to the mayor, obviously, Ms. Rochester. She's obviously a huge advocate for fixing this problem. It's just something that needs to be fixed, right? I don't believe that the police are leveraging what they could do with these unhoused people who are literally camping in our parks. It says no personal belongings, and literally everything they own is sitting there in the cart. They have what we are now calling warming fires, which I guess are legal, which is crazy because residents will get in trouble for having fires in their backyards. So it's like a double standard that I'm confused on. So thank you, guys.
All right, anybody else?
Good evening. A few months ago, I believe it was Ms. Rochester asked the CDD department to give us an update. Fire gives us an update. We've been getting updates from police. Still haven't got a CDD update. Not sure why that is. Not sure if Mr. Greason's passed his 960 hours yet, but I don't think so. So I'd like to see when we're going to get an update on the CDD, on all the projects that are in town, on how long the projects are taking in town, how quick they're taking. I think that it'd be nice to have the building department and planning department be held accountable. Police and fire have to give reports. And then I'd have some questions for Mr. Greason. Not sure he's here tonight. Doesn't look like it. I believe the last meeting, or 1 or 2 meetings ago, he spoke that, actually, city manager said that he was going to be meeting with all the developers. Well, I know I haven't been met with, so guess I'm not on the developer list. So curious if that's ever going to happen. I find it ironic that 11 projects doesn't get somebody who shows up and is supposed to be a new CDD director, at least show a little respect to somebody who has 11 projects in town. Also would like to know Mr. Greason's opinion. He's been a city manager. He's been in the business before. I'd like to know his opinion of our city manager and see if he's still micromanaging. I'd like to see if he thinks that our city manager is doing a great job or not. And if he is, then I want to hear about it. And I also would like to know what he thinks of our building staff. He's been here long enough to know whether our building staff can handle what they've been doing. And he has plenty of opinions, I'm sure. I'd love to hear about that, and the planning department. I'd like to see if he can shed some light on what's going on inside the city of Atwater here in the development world. So maybe he'll meet with me, maybe not. If I don't hear from anybody, I'll follow it up. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else? Okay, see nobody else come forward. I'm going to close public comment. Now we're on to the consent calendar, and now we have another public comment period. It's all right. It's all different tonight, it's okay.
Background information has been provided on all matters listed under the consent calendar, and these items are considered to be routine. All items under the consent calendar are normally approved by one motion. If a council member requests separate discussion on any item, that item will be removed from the consent calendar for separate action.
Is there any public comment regarding the consent calendar? Let me read the whole statement here. That was out of order. Asking for public comment on the consent calendar. Then I close the public comment. And then I ask the council if there's any items on the consent calendar they would like to pull for separate discussion. It's the way it's always been. Same script, but. Yeah. No problem. No, it's not a problem. Everything is different tonight.
No, that's fine. There's like 11 items on the consent calendar, so if somebody's got more than one item to talk about, it's a lot. Okay, Adam Reed, 1520 Fruitland. Hey, I just got a question on number 9, the purchase of property for the expansion of Osborne Park. Looks like it's almost $2 million. So I looked at the property ownership, and it's owned by the city. It looks like the property, if it's the right one, is owned by the city of Atwater, and it was purchased from somebody that I've noticed on a closed session calendar that there might be some litigation with or something, and it looked like it had been purchased from them. So I was kind of curious if maybe somebody could reach out to me and let me know if this is the same piece of property that we're paying $2 million for, the one right next to the park. And then also too, I'm just wondering, that's not a big thing in the state of California for, well, I was gonna say now, but for a while has been mobility, walkability, multimodal. That park, I mean, it's not really it's not like a community park. It's got a lot of, it's got the baseball fields and stuff like that, but I'm almost wondering with you guys having some sort of an agreement now with Merced Irrigation District on the Livingston Canal, the main canal through town, if maybe the money would be spent more wisely on a pedestrian path. I know we lack parks, but we severely lack pedestrian walking facilities. So, and I think that's what you guys are kind of trying to address with the stuff along the canal. So, I don't know. I'm just curious because the other thing too, if the 1.9 is just the purchase price, I know like parks right now, it's about $1 million an acre to develop a park. And I've talked to multiple cities over the last year on like different parks that I've been working on, in developments and stuff, and it's about $1 million an acre. So, not sure like if we've got enough money to do that or not. So I'd hate to see the property just sit there after we spent $2 million on it, where we could have spent that $2 million somewhere else where, you know, a facility that the public would use, like be able to use now. So, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Anybody else? Come on up.
Your line item number 10, regards to professional services for cannabis monitoring. When do we start monitoring cannabis? I mean, and is Doug White in the building again or something? Is he going to be doing it? And how much is this going to cost us? Because this, we were sold a bill of goods a few years ago by a former city attorney that we were going to make millions of dollars on dope. It didn't work that way. And I don't think you're making millions of dollars right now. And so now you want to go out and spend some more money, Mr. Holm, that we don't have. We're looking at your budget, and you're really not in good shape financially. So I'd just like to know before you decide to hire an agency to monitor drugs, maybe you might think of another way to spend your money. Thank you.
All right, anybody else? Seeing nobody else come forward, I'm going to close public comment on the consent calendar. Okay, are there any items on the consent calendar council would like to remove for separate discussion and possible action? Yes.
Mayor, I'd like to request that we set aside item number 7, item number 9, and item number 10.
7, 9, and 10. Any other? Anybody else? No? Okay. Okay, so we have a request to remove 7, 9, and 10 for separate discussion. We have to vote on that, Janelle?
Yeah, we need a second, like any other motion. And it's basically to adopt, the motion would be to adopt, if there's a second, would be to adopt the consent calendar as presented minus items 7, 9, and 10.
I'll second.
Motion by Rochester, second by Kale. Kale?
Yes.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Rochester?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Motion passes. My question is, are we taking each item individually? Okay, thank you.
So let me just do this first.
The consent calendar is amended.
Okay, okay.
We'll take each item individually.
All right. Okay, so we approve the consent calendar minus 7, 9, and 10. So now we're on item 7, authorizing Regional Surface Transportation Program exchange funds claim for fiscal year 24-25 and approving a budget amendment, amending the fiscal year 25-26 budget to establish revenue and expenditure budget in the RSTP fund. Chris.
Thank you. Yes, this is for the Regional Surface Transportation Program. It's a fund where we use money for transportation projects. And the idea here would be to invest some money, $454,000, to kickstart the widening of Green Sands. This doesn't pay for the whole project. It just starts us off with, environmental and engineering work. The project will cost more than that for construction. And if you have any questions, we can try to answer them.
I have more of a comment, and I made the comment earlier to you, City Manager Holm, is that I do realize that the widening is important, but I also feel that there are other issues with our roads as they are in the city, and I was wondering if we wouldn't be able to use those funds for immediate projects, for resurfacing and striping and things of that nature, rather than utilizing the money for just engineering, and then we shelf that plan, and then what happens with it later on? That was kind of my question earlier.
Well, we'd have to get other monies to complete the project, for example, from the LTF, SB1, anything else we can find. So as far as the timing, Justin Vincent, do you have any
I was just gonna say, yes, you could use it for overlays if the council wanted to do overlays in
Yes.
certain areas instead.
Yeah, definitely we could do that. It's really the council's decision what we want to do. There's a lot of pros and cons for each approach, so I wanted to bring this forward as a discussion item.
Any other council discussion? Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of things we could use this money for. I need a new overlay on my street too. I know it'll never happen as long as I'm the mayor, but that's beside the point. There's a lot of places where we could use that money today. But, you know, not tonight, surprisingly, but a lot of nights that we have meetings, we have people saying we're not doing enough. We're not making it more business friendly. We're not making it where businesses want to come. The Ferrari Ranch property, as we've been told, is not ready, doesn't have the infrastructure in place to have businesses come. If you look at the Mission Interchange and that whole development down there, you have sidewalks on both sides of the Mission, you know, where it hooks up with Campus Parkway, curb gutter, sidewalk, and all that kind of stuff. And we don't have that at Ferrari Ranch. Now, would that really make a difference? I don't know. I'm not that expert. But it's something we need to definitely talk about. What is the deadline on this? If we don't do this today and want to do it, have more discussion on it, more information and whatnot about what our options are, what's that timeline?
We could bring this back to the next meeting that we have for discussion.
We need to see some options.
Okay,
I
so
think.
so we'll bring this back either the next meeting that we have this month or on February 9th, I believe.
You okay with that?
Are we moving on to 9? Item number 9.
Need to make sure we go to public comment on this as well, if there's any public comment.
I was asking council member
Oh.
Rochester, are you okay with postponing it and getting some more information?
Yeah, I would like more information. I think that would be helpful on potential projects, other potential projects that we could look at. Recognizing what the mayor said, I understand. I feel like there's a lot of issues that we need to address with our roads. So,
Okay, and we have time to do it, so that's good. Is there any public comment on this item?
So on this particular item, I have property on Green Sands, so I would love to see it widened. I would love to see infrastructure in place. Correct me if I'm wrong, we tried doing that already. Tried having funding. We had a funding mechanism already put in place, and that money never went to it. Some of you may know, some of you may not. I never saw it get done. Now, from a development perspective, okay, there is no utilities on Ferrari Ranch. And to answer your comment, there's absolutely nothing because the family didn't want to do it. The one of them said he chose to do it. He put the infrastructure in, and it enticed other companies and people to come. Now, from another development perspective, if you're going to throw $850,000 or whatever the number is at a project, open-ended, I can't do that. And even when I do that, there's still unknowns. I find it appalling that you're going to potentially put that kind of money on the line and not have an actual budget for the entire project. If you don't have a whole entire project allocated, how do you guys expect to even just start throwing money at it? I know you want to do it in phases, then show a phase plan. It would be a little more transparent to the community.
All right, anybody else? Comments? Okay, no. Okay, I'm going to close public comment on this.
We don't have to take a formal vote if there's consensus to bring this back as discussed. Yeah, I'm seeing everyone not there. Okay.
All right, so we are going to move then to item 9, which is approving a budget amendment to allocate funding for the purchase of property for the Osborne Park expansion project. Justin?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Yeah, so this budget amendment isn't just for one property, it's for the potential of two properties. The one property that Adam had brought up that the city is the owner, the city just got pre-possession rights during litigation on that property while litigation happened. Council on this budget amendment, $900,000 of it will be general fund, one-time money. The rest of it is park impact fees. Park impact fees can only be used to buy an additional 96 acres of new parkland and improvements on that new parkland. So we couldn't use it for trailway since it's already MID. We would just be getting an easement. But for the trailway, we did apply for grant funding through MCAG from Bellevue to the end of Osborne Park. Does council have any other questions?
I just have more of a comment, and I know that we've had this discussion. It was my concern, or one of the concerns that I brought forward was that, you know, we are looking at a new council potentially with a couple of council members terming out or choosing not to continue on. And so it was important to me to acknowledge the fact that the city did take a portion of the ARPA money last year to pay the CAL FIRE contract. And so we're essentially just reimbursing those funds back. Is that correct?
Correct. We originally had it budgeted in ARPA for Osborne Park, and then we had to have the money expended by December, and was it 2024? I can't remember now exactly. Appropriated, yeah. So then that's why we moved that to the general fund to cover the fire contract, yeah, the CAL FIRE contract.
Yeah, so I think it's a positive thing for us to reimburse for the monies that we took out of that account for District 2 for Osborne Park, and that we're reimbursing that. And also saving money that's specified for the parks in our park fund so that we'll be able to utilize those funds specific for the park, correct?
Yeah, so we'll be leaving more money in the park impact fee fund for construction. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any other council comments? Okay. Is there any public comment on this item? Here you get your second bite at the apple.
Okay, Adam Reed, 1520 Fruitland. Thank you, Justin, for clarifying that. I was a little confused because, as I recalled, the splash pad was built out of the Parks Fund money. But I'm an advocate for parks. You guys all know it. I haven't gone up and talked about it a lot lately, but it's probably going to change. I'm probably going to be coming and talking about parks a lot because we do have a deficit of it. So I hope that it happens, like not 10 years, 20 years from now. I hope that there's a plan to actually get it built. So thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, well, there is a plan for this, and the opportunity came, you know, that property, I don't know how that property ever got parcelized the way it is. There's no access except from Bellevue Road. So how those people could ever expect it to use the back parts of any of those parcels over there is beyond me. But we do have the opportunity to buy the property now, and of course, then we got to work on getting money for the expansion of it, but this is the first step. Okay, any other further comments from the council? Anybody want to make a motion?
Motion to approve staff's recommendation.
Second.
Motion by Ambrose, second by Kale. Kale?
Yes.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Rochester?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you. Okay, item 10, approving amendment number 2 to the professional services agreement for cannabis monitoring and compliance services with HDL companies. I guess, Chris, you're going to do this one?
Yes, this is an annual cost of up to $86,615. It's funded through cannabis-related revenues. And HDL has helped us in the past, and so this is more of a renewal of their continued help. They do inspections, and they monitor. They coordinate with our code enforcement manager, so we have good communication that way. And yeah, if you have any questions.
I do have a question about the monitoring and compliance piece. What does that exactly entail?
There's state requirements, so we have to monitor and then report. And I don't have an answer about all of what's entailed in that, but I can certainly come back with more information if you.
We have them on. We can try. We had issues with technical issues last meeting, but I can try to get them on if you want to try to ask them questions right now. We have HDL on, so we can
Sure.
we can attempt.
Right, go ahead.
Sure, they can
Try
give an
it.
intro and then any questions.
This will be a good test of how we're going to do in June when the law changes.
July, yeah.
July, whatever.
Brad, are you there?
Looks like you're muted.
His mic's. Brad, your mic's not on. Oh, he's gone. Yes, we can hear you.
Mayor, Council, good evening. My name is Brad Schneider. I'm the compliance manager with HDL Companies. Here tonight with me is Matthew Keaton, who is our Director of Compliance Services.
You might have to repeat your question. I apologize, Councilmember Rochester. Councilmember Rochester had a question.
Good evening, sir. My question was, what does the monitoring and compliance consist of exactly? Did you want some details about what our compliance inspections entail? You're breaking up just a little bit on my end.
There might be a delay.
Yes, that was my question. What do the inspections, what does that entail exactly?
Matt, can you hear them okay?
Yeah, I have a terrible delay.
If it helps, I've got their scope of work open that I can answer some questions from that. So they do background checks of all owners, principals, managers, and/or employees of cannabis businesses. Their state-required live scan fingerprint checking, and they only disclose, which will only disclose DOJ records regarding arrests or convictions. And they have supplemental background checks that expand upon that live scan information. So they consider other things like felony or misdemeanor convictions, arrest records. There's quite a list of different things, bankruptcies, employment and credit records, and a lot more. So they're.
I've lost audio if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. I'm just going through the scope of work, but go ahead.
It's a lost cause.
I think we should just pull the plug on
Yes, yes. Oh,
this. All this information's in the packet too. There's a whole contract.
And
is in there too.
Director Nicholas would like to also share something.
I can add a little bit of information that I have from a historical background for this. So HDL will actually go with Daniel, our code enforcement manager, to each business and check for the current requirements of these businesses. And so they know everything from a security door having to close within a certain amount of time from when somebody leaves a secured area, and they go through and check all of that. And then This cost is paid for by the business through the regulatory permit. So the cost of inspecting these businesses is paid for by each cannabis business. So we receive a bill from HDL, and then the business pays for it through their regulatory permit. Cannabis management services is what the actual scope of work provided by HDL is, and then our staff report was written with the term monitoring and compliance. There's a little bit of crossover there.
So it is a legal mandate for us to inspect and ensure that these cannabis businesses are within the requirements.
You know, I can't speak on the legal mandate if the code enforcement officer is able to do that in lieu of HDL. That I can't speak on. But I do know that HDL stays up to date with all the current requirements, and so it is definitely an enhanced service that helps Daniel with that. And because of that, because it is an enhanced service that comes at a price, it's built into that regulatory permit fee that the business is required to pay.
Do you know about how much revenue the city brings in for cannabis?
For cannabis tax?
Yes.
We budgeted for 25-26 about 350,000. That's a little bit down from 24-25 due to trends over 24-25. Businesses were bringing in a little bit less. And I would say at last check, we're trending pretty close to what the budget was, what we've estimated.
Okay, thank you.
So it's not the millions of dollars we were led to believe.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
the millions. Not
That'd be nice, huh? Okay. Any other council comments? Nope. Do we have any public comment on this item? Come on up and make your comment. If it's a decent question, I'll entertain it.
Question, so actually, this 86,000, that's annually. So that would really be really a wash. I mean, we would be making a profit off of the whatever.
Well, the fees that we're talking about here are paid for
By-
through permit fees from the companies that are selling.
That's what I was
weed.
kind of wondering. So, I mean, that's.
So that's a wash.
But again, it was another job for your code enforcement officer. So that kind of explains to me why he's so busy, just doing everything without any help. Thank you.
Well, he does have help. We hired some people. So. Okay.
You have to have an outside auditor.
So a valid point was just made
I just want,
by
sorry.
Janelle. She just said that you have to have an outside auditor, which essentially was the cusp of the question at hand was, is it mandated? Well, maybe we don't know if it's legally mandated to have, but Janelle raised the point that it needs to be an outside entity, which is important to note.
It's not a job I'm sorry, I don't mean to interject, but it's not a job that the code enforcement, it's part of the process.
That's important for us to know and to acknowledge here, I feel.
Mayor,
Yes.
I think we had another person that wanted to speak.
Oh, come on up.
Good evening, Michael Gomez, 1590 Underwood. I'm just curious. I have a few questions about this. I know that if this agency goes in and inspects these cannabis places, is this going to affect them in a negative way, where they just don't want to do business here? Has this been done in other cities? Those are just a couple questions I have for it. I would hope that the city of Atwater can continue to pursue a healthy cannabis business running here in Atwater, because it does provide a lot of tax revenue for us. So I just want to ensure that we are inviting those businesses still. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Anybody else?
It's me again. So when this was originally approved, there was ordinance for stores and dispensaries. Had to have fencing around it, had to have no signage, had to have rocks in front as barriers. That has never happened. So if there's a compliance thing that needs to get checked to see if you're even complying with your own existing rules and regulations, that might want to be looked at too. And if that's something that this organization does, then that's probably a good thing to look at, because I don't see any rocks or wrought iron fencing around. It's only one building. There's quite a few that don't have anything out front. So, and that was one of the original things. I don't know if it got repassed or readjusted along the way, but if you have an existing ordinance that's not being complied with, and you have a company that comes in and doesn't check that, and you're not complying with your own ordinance, it's just, you know, more backward stuff.
Yeah, we can look into that. Anybody else? Okay, I'm now closing public comment. So we need a motion of some sort.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Kale, second by Raymond. Kale?
Yes.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Rochester?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. So we're finished with the consent calendar. So now we are going to have reports, presentations from the fire department and the police department. And we're going to start with the fire department and Chief Randall.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members, staff, and community members. Thank you for the opportunity to provide you the quarterly update for the time period of October to December of 2025. The year-to-date calls totaled out at 4,738. Station 41 ran a total of 2,619 calls. Station 42 had 1,687 calls. The county provided resources to 432 calls within the city limits, and the Lucas device was utilized a total of 27 times. The Fire Marshal's Office conducted 2 board and care facility inspections, 29 current business inspections, and 13 new business inspections, and then performed 3 hydrant flow surveys. They had a total revenue generated in the quarter of $14,488. We brought on 2 new personnel to the City of Atwater Fire Department, Captain John Reyes and firefighter Ricky Flores. There are currently 2 fire apparatus engineer positions vacant. There are several transfers on file, and we're reviewing them currently. When the next engineer list becomes available, if there's positions available, we can go through that to select additional candidates if needed. Public education and engagements. We participated in the National Night Out, the fire safety presentations at Fruitland Christian Preschool and Anna's Daycare, Mitchell Senior School Career Day, the dispatch and communication and auto aid training with Merced City was conducted on several days. Perimeter training was conducted with PD. We participated in the drugstore project at Mitchell K-6 school, the trunk or treat and Veterans Day celebration at Juniper Elementary, Halloween candy handout with PD, a Touch-a-Truck event at Tractor Supply, the toy drive shopping at Target, Big Five, and Tractor Supply. I participated in the Christmas parade. We conducted our tri-tip dinner and fundraiser for the toy drive, which was a success to all of you in the community. We conducted the toy drive pass out with PD, the Realtors Association Christmas Festival, hot chocolate and candy canes at open house at Station 42, and then training with AMR. Accomplishments and training. We completed the emergency operations plan and EOC annex. We received the Type 6 engine in December. The RFP for weed abatement contractors was issued, and a partnership with Brycer, a fire systems compliance engine, began in November. Our upcoming projects, the CAL FIRE contract renewal process has been started. A ladder truck replacement purchase process is underway. Requests have been made to 4 vendors and manufacturers for spec build-out options. The ISO review was postponed until February by the ISO representative, and the closeout of the fire marshal life safety inspections of fire stations was postponed by the Office of State Fire Marshal's Office until a later date and time. Do you have any questions that I can answer?
Is there any council questions? I have a question. So Brycer, what exactly is a fire system compliance engine?
I'd like to defer to the Fire Marshal, Chief Carvalho.
Good evening, Mayor, and good evening, council members. The Brycer is a company that we signed up with. It goes out and what it does, it reviews all the contractors that go out to the businesses and does their fire risers, their sprinklers, everything that it does with the fire alarm system, and it keeps track of them for me. So there's no charge to the city. What happens is it charges the company that does them, $25 fee, covers the cost, and it does a tracking system. Since we use Streamline as our platform for inspection, the guys can go out there, and before they even go out there, they'll know if the fire riser or fire alarm system is expired or not up to date. Hood system for restaurants. So it just helps us maintain, and then it also alerts the companies and business owners that their system's going to be expiring soon, so they can be up to date. So it's already an advance for us when we get out there.
Okay.
And I have flyers for everybody, just so you guys can see like kind of what they do for us and how they're going to help us.
Okay. I could give those to city clerk. He can pass them up to us later. Okay. And I do want to say, Chief, that I appreciate the upcoming projects. I did ask the city manager to ask the police and fire to start putting that into your reports, because as a council, we need to know what's coming down the road, over the horizon kind of thing, so we don't get surprised by, oops, we got to do something. So thank you for that. All righty, is there any public comment on this item?
Sean Connor, 1301 Drakeley. Of all the calls that the fire department made this year, do we have how many of those were called off, like in terms of like rigs, or our new service got there first and then they turned around and went back to the fire station? Those are some numbers that I'd like to see. And yeah, thank you.
All right. Do you have that information handy, or you can get it for us?
And I do not have it handy right this moment. I can get it in a few minutes.
Okay. Let PD go ahead. Before we do that, okay. Any other public comment? Okay, I'm going to close public comment on the fire department update. Now we're on the police department update.
Hi, good evening. I'm presenting this on behalf of Chief McEachin, who couldn't be here tonight. So this is a quarterly report, and I'll go through first the department statistics. There are 8,915 total incidents, including 6,142 calls for service, 608 traffic stops, 960 cases generated, 91 traffic collisions, 163 arrests, 488 citations written, and 228 animal control calls. The new dispatch center project is complete and operational. It's really impressive to see how much the police department has changed since the finance and community development moved to the city hall. Been a lot of improvements around here. There was a great turnout for the annual National Night Out event held in October, which, just as an aside, I wanted to say that the chief's executive assistant Nora Lopez Prado is doing a wonderful job, and without her, a lot of these events couldn't have happened. Of course, it's a team effort, but she's doing great with that. The annual toy drive and the penny wars with the elementary school, those were a success, and we also completed the purchase of equipment for an on-site gym using state wellness grant funds. We had 2 corporal positions that were created and filled from existing officer positions, so that was reorganized. We had a sergeant position that was vacated by retirement and was backfilled. We have 2 officer vacancies with candidates in background right now. 1 dispatcher is in training, and 2 part-time community service officers candidates are in backgrounds right now. So we're looking forward to those new hires. We're continuing to reorganize the police facility, which is near completion. These are upcoming projects. Also, vehicles are at emergency equipment outfitter, and those should be ready early 2026. Those were the 4 vehicles that that we looked at getting, and I think 3 of them are getting very close to being ready for us. Also, the county's working on a countywide radio infrastructure upgrade project. There's a bit of a delay on that, but we're looking forward to that project. It's going to help us with our communication a lot.
Okay, thank you. Any council comments? Lisa?
I have a question about the gym equipment that we purchased. Will there be a policy that will be created for usage of that equipment, like during what hours they would be able to use the equipment?
I think I'd first turn to our existing policy. I don't know exactly what it says right in front of me, but we'll look at that and make sure that it's up to snuff. But Lexipol, we have a pretty robust policy on a lot of different topics. But we'll look at that specifically and make sure that we have something that conforms to what we need.
I'm familiar with Lexipol. I'm not aware of a gym policy in Lexipol. So I'm concerned about that, and I would like to make sure that we have a policy in place before the gym equipment is used.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? No. Okay. Is there any public comment on this item?
Good evening, Adam Reed. I like to see the number of citations. I think it was like 488 that were written. Hopefully we can bump that up, because I know that I can hear cars tearing up and down the street and with no exhaust and everything running up and down Winton Way and down Bellevue and everywhere. So hopefully we can start addressing some of that stuff once these officer positions get filled, hopefully. So like I said, I like to see that the citations are being given out. Hopefully we can get some of these people that are nuisances and stuff to, like I've said before, we're a city of peace and morals, right? So thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, seeing nobody else come forward, I'm going to close public comment on that. I will say that I had the opportunity to do a ride-along on New Year's Eve. I was kind of curious to see how that would work out. It was very uneventful. It was raining, so it kind of put a damp. Well, of course, at midnight, though, all the fireworks went off, but that was kind of exciting. But we went by Ralston Park. There was one person at the library. The officer got out and talked to him, and then they moved on. There was nobody in the park. I don't know, it was very quiet. I don't know if that's normal or if it's not, It's just a one-time snapshot in time. But I went home. I was home by 12:30. It was nothing going on, so, which is a good thing. That's a good thing, but anyway. Okay, so close public comment on that. So we're done with that one. And now we already did 13. That's off the table. It's all done. So I guess now we're on to council reports. And we'll start with District 1. District 1. That would be you.
Missed you. first off, I want to thank the Public Works crew. You guys did a great job during our recent storms that we've had, and we appreciate all their hard work and everything they do. That they just did a great job. I want to congratulate our two boxers, Anthony and Caden, and it was interesting. I've never met them and everything, but as they were leaving, you can tell their character when they went up to Lieutenant and they shook his hand and bowed to him, and I went, man, those kids are being raised right, and it is an awesome job that they are in this field, which is a very tough field, and doing so very well. And kudos go out to their parents for how they're being raised. Thank you goes out to Mid-Valley Disposal and your word. Again, Justin, man, I don't know what we're going to do with your head if everybody keeps talking about you, how good you're doing. So thank you again for everything, and glad everyone had a safe New Year. That's it.
Thank you. It's a new year. I'm actually gonna follow the agenda here. So now we'll go to District 2.
Thank you, Mayor. So first, I would also like to congratulate our two boxers. And I want to congratulate Michael Gomez for his appointment to the Planning Commission this evening. I want to address some of the concerns that have been discussed this evening about our transient population. I have also contacted the police department on more than several occasions because of the various transients in the city. I've driven by Ralston Park at various hours. I have seen the individuals sitting at the picnic tables that, my constituent, Ms. Dash, talked about in Ralston Park. So it is an ongoing issue. And I discussed with our city manager earlier today that I would again like another update from the county on the progress that they have made for the grant that they received for our transient population that's specific to Atwater residents. So I would like to know where we are with that. Also, I hosted a great light fight competition in District 2, and we had a great time riding around in a trolley. I'm glad that we didn't get pulled over by the police, judging Christmas lights. And I've been waiting to announce the winner here. It was the residents who reside at 2461 Crystal Drive. So I will be coming by your residence to give you a gift card for $100 and a hot cocoa set. So congratulations to the residents who reside at 2461 Crystal Drive. I have discussed a concern that I have with an ongoing food vendor who is setting up shop on Bellevue Drive during the evening hours and selling food. It appears that they're likely not permitted. And I would like for us to enforce our ordinance on, people not applying for business licenses to operate a business, and also just the danger of, the non-inspection, and our residents are lining up and partaking in the consumption of that food. And I just recently listened to the County Board of Supervisors meeting, and they were provided with an update with some very disturbing inspections that have happened and what they have unveiled in their inspections. And so I just don't want to run the risk of any of our residents getting sick from eating from one of those stands. And it is an ongoing issue on Bellevue in the evening hours. I too want to acknowledge our Public Works crew. We did have that significant rain event over the holidays. I know that we have been giving Justin way too many kudos, but I want to point out that Justin was out there with his guys, and maybe gals, I'm not sure, but he was out there working the storm with them, and I just think that's a true testament to your leadership, and I just want to acknowledge that and to say thank you very much for your strong leadership with your people. It's important. And then finally, before we adjourn this evening, I would like to recognize the passing of Norm Rolfe. He was a longtime and respected member of our community whose contributions to Atwater were valued by many, and the also tragic loss of Violette Walker, who's an 18-year-old resident of Merced who died in a tragic skiing accident over the holiday. And I would respectfully ask that we adjourn tonight's meeting in their honor. Thank you.
Okay, District 3.
I have nothing tonight, sir.
Okay, District 4.
I too would like to congratulate Anthony and Caden, and I would like to thank Ernie Ochoa for bringing them to our attention. However, I do find it hard to believe that Ernie met them in a gym.
It wasn't a different gym that Ernie claimed he saw them versus the mayor.
True. He is in better shape than me, so it's okay. But yeah, no, thank you, Ernie, for bringing that to our attention and recognizing those kids for what they've done. What it takes to put in to get to that level is, incredible. So thank you for that. I'd like to congratulate Michael on being brought onto the Planning Commission tonight and welcome him to the team, the City of Atwater. Can't wait to see what you can bring to the table. And I also would like to congratulate our very own John Kale. He was just elected as Vice President of the California Hawaii Elks Association for the Central District. So congratulations, John.
Okay. I'm going to take a few minutes to reflect on what the city accomplished this past year. I will try not to make it too boring. It's kind of a list of things, but these are just highlights, not an exhaustive list. It's kind of a snapshot of the progress that we've made through the hard work, as mentioned earlier, of city staff, our commissions and committees, and also this council. So citywide accomplishments, we updated the city's 5-year strategic plan, ensuring that our goals align with current realities and community priorities. We updated the Ferrari Ranch Development Agreement, a key step in preparing that area for future development and long-term economic opportunity. We enhanced transparency and accountability of the Measure B Oversight Committee. We implemented new reporting form that improves clarity for both the committee and the public. We have made meaningful progress by reducing our structural deficit from over $1 million to approximately $400,000. We're not there yet, but that's an important step. And as we continue advancing the citywide digitization project, which includes scanning address files and updating the records retention schedule across all departments, which improves efficiency, accessibility, and compliance. Now, department specifics, Public Works, give Justin a few more kudos here. Public Works, with the support from the engineering division, delivered visible, tangible improvements throughout the community. They completed a major road construction project, including new curb gutter sidewalk, significantly improving safety and infrastructure longevity. Phase 2 of the downtown sidewalk project was completed, including sidewalks around the Bloss House and Bloss Park, which enhances walkability and accessibility in the heart of our community. Crosswalks were restriped at key intersections, including Bell and Applegate and Schaefer and Broadway. That improves visibility and pedestrian safety. The Olive Avenue pavement overlay and restriping project was completed. That was a long time needed improvement. And using grant funding, we acquired a new electric street sweeper. So we're going to get cleaner streets and reducing emissions at the same time. Moving on to the police department, as mentioned, 2 officer positions were reorganized into corporals, strengthening supervision and leadership within the department. We have a dedicated traffic enforcement unit So we have one officer doing that currently, and we need to have more on that, because Adam, I agree with you. We only have one guy, so he only works one shift, but we need coverage at night too. That's, yeah, for sure. And enforcement of fireworks violations was increased, so that helps protect public safety and reduces fire risk. Moving on to the finance department. They have played a key role in both operational support and long-term planning. This one I really appreciated. They supported the reactivation of the Police Activities League. Long time coming to get that up and running again, so we have positive programs for youth. They delivered the city's annual audit and filed all the required GASB reports. They have also successfully migrated to the Springbrook ERP cloud platform, which is improving their efficiency and transparency in financial reporting. And finance staff is actively participating in statewide finance leadership committees, ensuring the city remains informed and connected to best practices. Our HR department, very important department here, focused on modernization and workforce stability. They rolled out a new electronic timesheet system across departments that is streamlining payroll and improving accuracy. Critical positions were filled citywide, including police officers, dispatchers, account clerks, public works, and more. They successfully recruited candidates for the Reserve Firefighter Program, which strengthens our emergency response capacity. And this one I really like. They finalized side letters merging the AFSCME clerical and miscellaneous bargaining units into one group. So instead of having to have duplicate negotiations, we have simplified labor relations and improved consistency between those two groups. Finally, our fire department continued to focus on preparedness, prevention, and community outreach, as we've just heard. They acquired and deployed the Lucas CPR device, which, I didn't memorize it, 27 times it's been used, and it has saved several lives. If none of you have seen it, you need to go down to the station and check it out. We have the new Type 6 fire engine. I also collaborated with the county to update the city's emergency operations plan. And as you heard already, they've conducted numerous business license inspections. And it was interesting that, was it 13? You did 13 just this last quarter for new businesses. That's good. Getting to the end here. And they did their usual fire safety presentations at schools, did station tours, supported the annual fire and police toy drive. I always like to point out that continuing a strong tradition of community service. As a former firefighter for the city of Atwater, I appreciate that. And in closing, taken together, these accomplishments reflect a city that is planning ahead, managing resources responsibly, investing in infrastructure, and staying focused on public safety and service. I want to thank city staff, our department heads, our volunteers, our council, our committees, planning commission, etc., for their dedication and hard work throughout 2025.